All right, I've seen 1,000 people reaction video to the press conference between Wilder and Fury. I didn't get a chance to wake up and see it this morning. Jumped on and did a live for real quick and started my day. And shout out to 7A Sports TV. Make sure I subscribe to that brother. He got his live back today. Much blessing to that brother. Everything that he doing for the LDBC, man, that's much respected. And shout out to the new LDBC app. You can download it at the LDBC on your Play Store or, iTunes Store, whatever you're doing with your little Apple phone. I'm an Android guy. Shout out to everything that's going on online in the box community. Also, I want you guys to go subscribe to my brother K Black in the building. He back on the video grind. Make sure you go subscribe to K Black in the building. But, it's several reasons why this fight and any other fight out there, some of them run parallels with some of these reasonings that this fight cannot happen, And I at the end of the video, I'll give you my chances and percentages of why this fight, what I think this fight happened or not happen. Okay. One thing I want to say is I'm not one of those guys that's trying to be negative or trying to just piss on the fight. I like the fight. Okay. But some of these are reality. Okay. One thing is the doping thing, okay? Tyson Fury has been popped before the Klitschko fight. The UKD covered it up until after the Klitschko fight, then tried to collect on him. He retired for a minute, then they backdated suspension and did all this other stuff. So you look at, what Billy Joe Saunders went through, they real close. So, do they understand what out of competition things going on? It seems like the UKAD and the UK, the British fighters, they have a different drug rules. And you always got to keep that in the back of your mind in any fight. Now, nobody thought Billy Joe was on some shit, and he get popped for oxyfrene. Okay, we thought that Andrade and Billy Joe Saunders fight was about to be one of the better fights in October. And the middleweight division was really about to get popping. And it turned out it didn't. So you really never know. Okay, you never know, especially, with, fighters from different countries and fighters in America. So that's something that we will have to look out for, is the doping thing. And Tyson Fury has been ranked by the WBC for the last 2 months, I believe. I think he debuted at 9. And, his cousin, Hifi Fury, he entered the WBC VADA Clean Drug Testing Program. There's been no talk of Tyson Fury entering the VADA program yet, but I expect it to happen. On top of that, Deontay pays extra for drug testing for his opponent. And at this point, if Tyson Fury was to pop dirty, Deontay Wilder would probably just blow his head off. So, that's one thing you always got to look out for in a fight is the doping. 2-3 weeks out from the fight, 6 weeks out for the fight. It's extensive VADA drug testing, especially when Deontay Wilder pays extra for the drug testing. It's extensive. It's thorough. So, something that you might have been taking that didn't come up on the little piss test that you do in the UK can easily come up in your blood and your urine or one or the other on this testing, okay? Another thing that can happen is injury, Fury look like he been staying in good shape, but this injury can happen for either fighter. Deontay Wilder has suffered a bicep injury. He suffered a hand injury. He only fought twice this year. If he fights with Tyson Fury once in March and December, the inactivity. Tyson Fury, the inactivity. Maybe he run too hard or anything. A cut can happen. Anything can happen. I'm pretty sure they're going to have some really good sparring. Okay? And any and everything could happen. Okay? So you always got to look at the injury aspect of it. Okay? And those are the two main ones to look at. The two main ones to look at, because anything else happening outside of that, I really can't fathom what can stop this fight. Somebody faking an injury, I don't know why they would fake the injury. It's a lot of money on the line. You don't have to make weight, so it's not a case of, I can't make weight, so, I sprained my toe. Some people think Tyson Fury will get cold feet. Some people I heard say think Deontay Wilder will get cold feet. I don't think that's the case. Okay? And a lot of people praying that this fight doesn't happen. Okay? A lot of people, hope Tyson Fury pulls out this fight because it gives Deontay Wilder a leg to stand on. And I say if Deontay Wilder beats Fury because he beat the lineal champ, he beat the guy. Even though people are already have their excuse pre-made saying that Tyson Fury, okay, he ain't the same fighter. He came back too quick. He not active enough. But shout out to him. He got the weight off of him, slimmed down. And he said he wanted to fight. Remember, he called out Deontay Wilder. He called out Deontay Wilder because Anthony Joshua was shaming the country, okay? That's why he called him out. Could he pull out and Eddie Hearn give him a great deal to fight Anthony Joshua? I think if any deal was great enough for Eddie Hearn to give Tyson Fury, it would have already been done, okay? $1 billion Eddie would have already did that. So, I mean, it's nothing that Eddie Hearn can do in his jurisdiction because this fight is outside his jurisdiction to stop this fight from happening. Only way this fight can be stopped from happening is injury or VADA drug testing. That's the only way this fight can stop from happening. Is it a possibility that those things can happen? Yes. And also, Tyson Fury is a head case. Let me throw that in there as well. Fury is done with some mental instabilities in his life. That's also something to look at. Will he claim to be crazy again to pull out the fight or this and that? But remember, Tyson Fury been out the ring for 2 years with like 3 or 4 kids and another one on the way. So cash flow has been going out. But I don't know how well he's invested his money outside the ring. So, it makes sense for him because if he loses to Deontay Wilder, well, I wasn't ready. I'm going to come back, build myself back up, look good, and then I come back for a rematch. If he almost beat Deontay Wilder, it's controversial. Look at me. I almost beat Wilder. I wasn't in shape. Whoop, whoop, whoop. If I get a couple more fights, I rematch Wilder real quick. If you go out there and get sparked out, same thing. I tried to come back. I run myself. Woo, woo, woo. If he beats Wilder, man, does that put a lot of pressure on Anthony Joshua over there in Britain to fight him? So virtually, Tyson Fury's in a win-win situation. Easily. He's in a win-win situation. Not only is he getting the belt that he didn't have in the WBC, but man, he put so much pressure on Anthony Joshua to make a massive fight in the UK with Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn. Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn working on a fight with Billy Joe, Demetrius Andrade, and also working with Tite and Ryan Burnett in the World Boxing Super Series 118-pound division. Most people are going to see why y'all can't work together to make the biggest fight in the UK. For Deontay Wilder, this is high risk, high reward for him. And it doesn't, low risk for one guy, high reward. But this is high risk, high reward for Deontay Wilder. You know why? Because if this fight does good numbers-wise, it's nothing that Eddie Hearn can do to say why they shouldn't come to America, because the money is greater, the exposure is greater. And he said if Wilder does 1 million pay-per-views, they'll come to America. I believe that's what he said. So, like I say, man, line them up. Line them up. Okay? And if Wilder looks bad or gets beat by Tyson Fury, or if the fight doesn't do as good as it should do, then the shit is over. He's going to have to crawl back to Anthony Joshua if he look bad, for the numbers bad, or whatever it may be. Now, this is an epic fight, a good fight. They fight tooth and nail, and we come out just with a winner, just by the hairs, chinny chin chin, and do good numbers. They do a rematch. They do it again, okay? And does big numbers again, then, AJ's going to have to come crawling to them. But I think the percentage in this fight happening, I think both of them going to come to the ring. I think it's a 90% chance this fight happens. I think it's a 10% chance doping or injury or anything else could stop this fight from happening. Natural disaster or something like that. I think it's minimum chances. I think they go through with them. But I think that 10%, as well, is good, because you never know what can happen. But it's the Boxing Clinic and more. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. One time for the one time we grinding. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Also catch our morning talk show on YouTube, Boxing 101 Early Morning Grind, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it'll also be in Castbox form, podcast form on Castbox. The podcast link is in the description. TBC and more, we gone.